Good morning, students. Today I'm going to review with you over unit rates and complex fractions. So first let's start off with a unit rate. So I have 7 apples and they cost $21. How much is the cost per an apple? So to figure out the cost per an apple, you're going to do 21 because that's our cost. So our cost goes on top over 7. So you would do 21 divided by 7. So the cost per an apple is $3 per an apple. Alright, so our first example is pretty easy. So now we're going to move on to a little bit more of a complicated example. So let's make up an example. So Tim hops 12 times in 360 seconds. What is his speed in hops per a minute? So our first problem is we have to figure out how many minutes are in 360 seconds. So you would do 360 divided by 60 because 1 minute equals 60 seconds. So when you do 360 divided by 60, your answer is 6 minutes. So now we have 12 hops in 6 minutes. So we need to know how many hops per a minute. So you would do 12 divided by 6, and that is going to give you 2 hops per a minute. So 2 hops per a minute. Remember, when we're dealing with unit rates, our denominator always has to end in 1. So because our denominator always has to be the 1, you always have to figure out what can I do to get that 1. So let's talk about $2 for 30 pizzas. Now, I want to know though, how much does 1 pizza cost? So I need to know how much does 1 pizza cost. So how am I going to figure out how much does 1 pizza cost? So what is the cost per a pizza? So 2 over 30. We could always do this other fraction because 2 and 30, if you don't have a calculator. So divide by 2. That's going to give us 1 over 15. So 1 over 15. Or we can type it into our calculator and get 0.066666667. So you can either write it as a fraction or as a decimal. Alright, we're going to do one more unit rate and then we're going to move on to complex fractions. So $2.50 per 5 cans. Find the price per a can. So the price is $2.50 over 5. So that's going to leave me with 50 cents per a can. So it's going to cost 50 cents per can. Now, one thing that we need to remember is that when we're answering unit rate questions, like this one said, find price per can. So at first it gave us the price, then it gave us the can, then it wanted to know price per can. But there can be times when it's going to say there are 5 cans and they cost $2.50. What is the price per can? So you have to remember that if they give you, so just because they give you cans first and the money second, that doesn't mean that's what they're asking for. So this one says, what is the price per can? So what is the price? $2.50. How many cans? 5. So just like that, you'd solve it. So what you really need to pay attention to is what is it asking for when it asks for unit rate. Is it asking you price to can or can to price? That's going to tell you what your numerator is and what your denominator is. Numerator always comes first. Denominator always comes second. Now let's talk about complex fractions. Complex fractions, we've been doing this since day 1. All you're doing is taking a fraction and dividing it by another fraction. And we've learned that if we don't have a calculator, that all we have to do is keep, change, flip. So 2 times 5, 10, 5 times 2, 10. 10 over 10, 1 whole. Remember, complex fractions, we've been doing this since day 1. Alright, so now that you've had a little bit of help from me, if you have any questions, tomorrow, Thursday, I'm going to be doing a Zoom meeting after school from 3:30 to 4. Please join if you need help. I hope to see you guys on Tuesday.